Thokozani bogogo nabomkhulu. My director today is a bit off. So it's Sunday Motivation with Gogo Dineo. So giving you a motivational talk based on my experiences from Epehlweni, from Uktwasa, from Impilo, from all sorts of things, because it's very important for us to inspire each other, because inspiration is actually being in spirit, and in spirit means we are in creation, and in creation we can be in flow, and we can actually help each other really create a life in which we all are seeking for each other. So that's what inspiration is about. It's from my own experiences, and it doesn't mean it's an applicable thing for everybody else. So what are the 10 things for this week? The 10 things I keep on learning as a Sangoma post Petro life, meaning post my initiation process. So the first thing that I've learned is that as a healer, as a Sangoma, as a spiritualist, you need to have a daily ritual that keeps you connected, that keeps you grounded, that keeps you aligned with those who have gifted you the gift. And remember, from Petro life, you learn the basics, your Kobela lays the foundation, but what you make out of it is also what speaks to you and your ancestors. So Pasha could be one. Patla, it's a way of connecting and communicating with Abapanti. Prayer is a way in which we connect and communicate with divine creation. Meditation is actually a way in which we listen for spirit responses to the things that we've asked for. So Mina, every morning, what is my daily ritual? I sit in bed, I do a few breath-ins just to help me arrive and connect with what's going on for me. I always love my morning baths. Even the Gogos I work with, they know, because that's my space of retreat. You know, as a healer, we always have so much that we have to do for others that we can self-neglect. So this, for me, it's a way of connecting with my people, but it's a way of connecting with me as well, because Mina, I don't do daily patla in Dumbeniam, but that's a way, because you come to a certain point, you know, that your relationship with your ancestors is strong, and then whatever that you find that works between you and them really works, because I can do that and then get into my car, I'm going there and doing this, please be with me and please guide me. Nutrition is one of my daily things, so I love porridge in the morning, so sorghum or oats or something, you know, depending, because the reason I check in with myself in the morning is so I can feel what does my body need to be fed, so that I can be at optimal function as a healer and be able to service the people who have come to seek my services. So that's one. Number two, ancestral timing is perfect timing. Glossy timing, always make sure things arrive in time, and when they arrive in glossy time, there is no contradiction, and actually they come at the time in which you know how they're going to serve you, not your ego but the divine in you. So I have learned that as umuntu ehlozi, even though post my Chasa process, I still have to ask for every single thing that I need. So if I have to purchase a new vehicle, fanele ngiyiphahlele ngiyicele. If I have to extend my house, fanele ngiyiphahlele ngiyicele. Because the thing is that sometimes the things that we think we need are the things that we don't need in that particular time, because they'll be more of a distractor than an enabler. So the ancestors will not give it to you then, and sometimes I'll partly because you're not asking for them to pave a way as you go make deals or contracts that are important to make sure that you are not being exploited and not being unserved. So I've learned that. I've learned, even though you have money and you've got access and all the resources, if it's not glossy time, it will not glow for you. If it's not glossy time, it will not serve you. So understand that ancestral time, it's perfect timing, it's divine timing, then everything else falls into place. Another lesson that I've learned is that don't compare, don't compete. You are uniquely gifted. Master your healing craft. What do I mean by that is that there's a lot of noise, and there's a lot of us who are Sangomas. We can inspire you, we can be an inspiration and a motivation, but remember, what is it that your people have gifted you? Because many are called, but few are chosen. So as the chosen few, what is that mastery of healing that your people have called to do? I know mine is to be a global world teacher, bringing back Africa and Africa's children back to her sacred womb. So meaning that they'll always pave a way and open doors and pathways in which I can do that. Because the problem with you, if you are listening to so much noise and what everybody's asking you to do, is you never get to listen to what your ancestors are wanting for you. Because if you want want to be everything, you'll end up with nothing. So don't compare, don't compete. You are uniquely gifted. Go and learn. If your mastery is to heal, what type of healing are you going to master? If your mastery is to teach, what type of teacher are you going to be? If your mastery is to be a writer, what type of orator are you going to be? Because that is very important. And it means then you can start to follow people who inspire you to do your best, not people who take you away from your best. So that is very important as one, because if ubheka ukuthi omunye umuntu wenza kanjani, how they talk to their ancestors or what their ancestors want for you. So I've gotten to where I am right now because all of it has taken time. It took me 4 years ukuthi ngifake ibruku. It took me 4 years and more than 4 years to wear makeup and do all these things, because my ancestors understood that by the time I become a teacher that challenges the stereotypes and assumptions about what being a Sangoma is gonna be like in these modern times, something of me needs to reflect to people and mirror the modern times. But back then they were shredding off the old so that the new can be born, which brings me to my other lesson, is that the old you has to die so that the new you can radiate and glow. Because if you're still holding on to old aspects of you from Petro, things that you're supposed to have shredded you, relationships that don't serve you, situations that don't serve you, you cannot grow in your glossy work. You know, in your glossy work, you can, as a glossy now, it's like English and you cannot grow in your ancestral work, because things have to be shredded off. The old has to die so the new can be born. We know that in winter trees shed off their old leaves, but they never complain, they don't. So do not be at dismay when certain things, or when you come back from Petro, a relationship you've had forever goes, a loved one passes on. It's not ibati, it's called shredding off, it's called sculpturing the masterpiece that you have been called to become. You need to change your perception as a healer to understand that everything in Lozi happens for your highest good, even though it does not seem so at the time in which it happens. Because remember, I said last week, altitude determines your altitude, and your altitude determines your outcome. So that's very important to always know that. So when I say also, I just want to emphasize that you are not the same, but you're much better. I understand aspects of me. For the longest of time, I never actually gave myself time for myself, and I never prioritized myself. But this work has taught me that I need to prioritize me. I need to do me and be me, because then when I'm authentically myself, I can authentically heal people from a place of truth. What do I also mean by that is that we need to understand that as healers, we are deeply wounded. There's a lot of us who are walking around as wounded healers, including me. And healing, it's a never-ending journey. That's why you are here. Because as you unpeel a certain layer of an onion of your pain, another gets discovered. As you unpeel, another gets discovered. Because you understand that healing is a journey, it's not a destination. Once you've arrived, it means you know more, because you need to then ascend and join our beloveds up in the ether where spirits reside. So it's very important to understand that as healers, we are very broken people, because birthing into this greatness, we get shredded, we got tortured, we suffer, we you know, it's all the terms that human beings term, but we have to remove, release, and layer something in order for this thing that is within us to emerge and surface. So you need to invest in yourself. That's another lesson that I've learned. You need to invest in yourself by taking care of yourself. Are you going for massages? Who is healing you? Do you have somebody whom you can debrief with, whether that's a coach, another healer, or another therapist? You need to find somebody who can fill your cup so that your cup can be full when you are in service of other people, because otherwise you will be projecting your own things. That's why you find that as healers, we threaten people. If I wins manje, then the drama in which we create is what is inside us, because you'll attract people in your space that also mirror things that you need to work with as a healer. So always pay attention to that. Invest in your craft as a healer. If you know that your work is to teach, then do something that actually helps you be the teacher that you need to be. If your work is to write, are you signing up for a writing class or something? Because we need to understand, as healers, as we evolve, humans also evolve, and we work with a complex entity that is called a human body. Our key function as spiritual healers is to make sure things align within the spirit world, but the spirit world relieves itself in human form in these times. So the people in which you are working with are forever changing, and their needs are changing. So if you keep on doing your own refresher courses as a healer, it actually adds to your accolades, and it adds to the value service in which you need to give as a healer. So it's very important. I always say just being a Sangoma is not enough, because people come with psychological issues. I'm not saying study everything. I said earlier on, master your niche, master your craft as a healer, and do what you need to do to make sure that mastery is always kept intact. Study, read, travel, whatever that it is that you require, that is going to actually help you and make you a better healer. The other thing, and I feel like I'm speaking fast because I only have 15 minutes. Listen to the voices of your ancestors. They're the ones who have entrusted you with this gift. Listen to them, because their voices are expansive post-Phehlo. It is not only dreams, it is the signs and the messages that you can see. It is the intuitive feeling that has been strengthened. It is the divine thought that comes into you. It is that vision that you're getting, or is the sound that you're hearing. Listen to them, because they will not fail you. They have not failed you by far. You are here, you are alive, you are healed. But you need to continuously listen. So if things don't work out, because it's hey, this one and this one will all have different perceptions. Even if we will give you input, but the people who need to guide you are still them, because this gift has been passed on by them. So if you want to do everything that each and every one of us are telling you to do, you will fall for everything and stand for nothing. So as a healer, it's very important that you understand what is it that they've gifted you, and who are those people who are guiding you? Who are the ancestral voices? Where does this gift come from? Is it from your paternal? Is it from your maternal? And whom had it? And whom that is passing it on to you? How did they use it, and how are they wanting you to use it now? So that's very important, because there's just so much out there right now on social media that you can get confused and conflicted, that you forget to listen to those who are guiding you, because those are priority. So I said it earlier on, the healing journey never stops, because you're done with Phehlo. With every growth process you need to experience, you need to go through a process of test. So for me, I call it this: you are put through the fire because the gold in you needs to come out. So you are being crystallized. So when you put a very dark thing, rock inside, it becomes gold, right? So every challenge that's brought your way, don't despair, don't say I give up on this. It's actually there to strengthen you. The greater the call, the higher the mountains one needs to climb. The higher the mountains one needs to climb, the higher the elevation and the ascension in one's gift. So understand that that's always the point. I'm told there's 2 minutes and I've got so much to say, right? So love your gift, love what you have been called to do. It will love you back. That's very key. Tandinto yako is oktanda. It will serve you, and you will see everything actually as a God's lesson, as a Dlozi lesson, as an ancestral lesson versus as an ancestral burden. So remember, you are human after all. You need to make sure this human is also taken care of. And when you make mistakes, trust that it's the lesson you need to learn. And when you are in your flawedness, don't judge yourself, because one whom doesn't judge, comes from a place of non-judgmental themselves, because people are always judging. I've learned ukuthi when umuntu edlozi, don't judge, because you never know when you have to go through a same test as one. Ungabheka umuntu uthi laba bayadakwa kule mpande, laba bathanda ukugida kuphela. Hey, things are always happening. So the classes will continue every Sunday on the lesson. Tell me if you really like this, if you want more of these lessons that I'm learning, if it's helpful. There's a lot of suggestions that have come through. We'll take it one Sunday at a time. Ngiyabonga kakhulu, thokozani.